My name is Tony Newhall. I've been a resident here of Newhall, Valencia area for about 55 years. And with me is my wife, Reena. My father and my brother asked me to come down to Newhall and help them run the newspaper, the Newhall Signal. One of the commitments you have to make if you become publisher, he told me after I accepted, that you have to become a member of the board of the Boys and Girls Club here in town. It was sort of a collection of, I thought, the most active, brightest, smartest, and hardest workers in the area. And I was honored to do so, but I didn't know anything about it.
Tony walked into my dancing school called Reena's Dance Studio and started taking dance lessons. And I was the teacher. And he started telling me about the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, when the Boys and Girls Club started, the first thing we needed, besides organization, and we run it at a church as a clubhouse, we needed money, and it was hard to come by. And finally got to the point where we said, we have to make serious money. And we all got around and we talked about this idea of holding an auction, which would be a party.
I went to the auction about second or third year, and it was a little sparse. It was a little empty. So the next year, I thought we should add a little glitter and glitz to this. And I had my dancers, and we had a precision team. With this precision team, we decided to add entertainment to the auction. And people looked forward to it because it was the social event of the season, as far as Joanne Darcy said. And we had a group of volunteers that would go around and solicit donations from merchants, and by doing that, they wanted to see how we were going to use their donations with the silent auction as well as live auction. So we had a really good volunteer group, and they had no choice because we'd have breakfast and we'd say, now we have to hit the streets. And we did, and it worked out.
It did go about, I would guess, 15 to 18 years before we were able to establish a clubhouse here in Newhall. I had Jim Ventris and Tom Lee and Clyde Smythe got together. They were people,
Sam Garcia.
And Sam Garcia got together, said, let's see if we can use any of the existing facilities, which is the best and cheapest way. And they decided that Newhall Newhall swimming pool and clubhouse weren't being used as much as they used to be. So they said, why don't we take this over and use it as a clubhouse and make a deal with the county that we'll keep it up, make use of it. And the county went for it completely. And then a short time later, they found out that we could use a area out at Sierra Vista to do the same thing. Sierra Vista was one of the most successful satellite clubs we had because it was sitting in North Oaks, surrounded by all these kids that didn't have any other alternatives. So it worked better and it became the second club.
It was very well received by the community. The community supported the effort and made donations, and we should be proud of the fact that it's here and we're using it. It's very useful.
We said if we were going to go anywhere, we have to include the girls too, because a lot of the girls were coming with their brothers and friends and attending the games and activities, and we wanted to include them. So there were a few other clubs in the nation that preceded us and called it the Boys and Girls Club. And so we named ours about, I'm guessing about 1973, the Boys and Girls Club. We were worried that the national chapters wouldn't go for it because they were all dyed in the wool, these old guys back there, and frankly, we were surprised at how little reaction or resistance we got.
No, it was a good reaction. They said, it's about time we included women.
Yeah. I think it's important because kids at that age, the young teenagers especially, need direction. They need a place to go, they need a place to vent their energy and determine what they will do, how they will handle their school and their peers, and it gives them at least a feeling that there's an adult voice and there are counselors and peers available to help them with problems.
A lot of parents have to work. They have no choice. Mothers don't stay at home anymore. And the Boys and Girls Club is like pseudo-parenting. And the people that work in the club care. I've not seen, meeting them, they care about their kids, and that's very important. I walked into the Boys and Girls Club to deliver a donation, and there was a young woman sitting at the desk, the reception desk, and a kid came up to her and was really bothered by something. So she turned to me, she says, "I'll be right with you, I'll be right with you." And I said, "Fine, you take care of the kid first." And she did, but her responsibility was to the child, not to me. You know, I'm just the bystander. And I thought that was good because the kids have to come first. And the people that work at the club, I truly believe they believe that.
Over these later years, I really applaud the parents and the leaders of the club for doing such a great job in keeping the message and the club going and raising money. It's difficult, as you know, every day. Things are so much more expensive than they used to be. And going out, and they've dealt with foundations, they've had fundraisers, and it takes a lot of money to get the club going. And I've witnessed many other nonprofits who have encountered, troubles because of financial reasons. And the Boys and Girls Club seems to carry on steady with support from a lot of people around the community.
Happy, is it golden anniversary, and I hope the future brings you good health, good luck, and lots of gold.
I can't believe that 50 years has passed since I originally walked into the Boys and Girls Club back in 1967. And it has been a trip and a half. It has been far more than I ever expected. And it has been so worthwhile, the whole trip, working for the Boys and Girls Club and all its staff and all the volunteers in the community that have contributed to it. We have everything to be proud of in the Boys and Girls Club.